Maria got her biggest raise ever last year, a 25% bump that finally put a six-figure salary within her reach. 6 months later, she is lying awake at 2 in the morning, wondering where all that extra money went. The nicer apartment, the weekly meal delivery service, and the just this once shopping sprees that somehow became routine. She is not alone. In a staggering paradox of the modern economy, 40% of households earning over $300,000 a year report living paycheck to paycheck. This is the rise of the high-income, financially insecure, or HIFI demographic. These are professionals who have done everything the traditional system asked of them, yet they have fallen into a mathematical trap called Zombie Solvency. They are technically successful, often looking the part of the elite, but they are actually capital-starved, unable to invest in growth because every new dollar is already committed to servicing the debt of an inflated past. Today, we are looking deep into the divergent velocities of labor income and capital costs to understand why you feel like you are running a race against an opponent whose speed increases with every step. We are going to deconstruct the mechanics of wealth extraction and provide a blueprint for survival in a global economy that is being reset in real time.
To survive this era of instability, you must first accept a cold analytical truth. Interest is not merely a fee for the use of money. It is a terminal inhibitor of financial mobility. As an expert who has modeled trillions in assets and behavioral dynamics, I can tell you that the single biggest differentiator between those who build substantial wealth and those who just tread water is their relationship with compounding. Most traditional advice tells you to protect your assets, but in a world of sticky inflation and widening credit margins, protection is a losing strategy. You need a strategy of velocity. The fundamental asymmetry of our system is that your labor income grows linearly, while your liabilities compound exponentially. If your income does not double every few years, but your debt does, the math dictates that you will eventually reach a ceiling where capital generation becomes impossible. The engine of this extraction is the compounding sword, and it cuts both ways. On one side, you have the S&P 500, which has historically returned around 10% annually, or 6 to 7% after you account for the invisible siphon of inflation. On the other side, you have credit card interest rates that remain stubbornly high, often hovering around 23%. Carrying high-interest consumer debt while trying to invest in the market is a mathematically certain path to wealth destruction. It is a race you are guaranteed to lose. When you carry a balance at 23%, your debt doubles every 3 years, according to the rule of 72. Unless your salary is doubling every 36 months, the interest cost will eventually consume every bit of discretionary cash flow you have. This is how you end up earning $300,000 and feeling broke. You are essentially paying a premium to delay the inevitable. This mathematical trap is reinforced by a psychological phenomenon known as the Hedonic Treadmill. Humans are wired to adapt. That rush from a new luxury purchase, the better car, the bigger home, the designer watch, soon fades as that luxury becomes your new normal. This creates a constant need for even higher spending just to maintain the same level of baseline satisfaction. We call this lifestyle creep, and it is a silent financial disease that turns your hard-earned luxuries into non-negotiable necessities. In the age of curated social media, this is further amplified by financial dysmorphia. You see the idealized versions of your peers' lives and feel a psychological gap that you attempt to close through conspicuous consumption, often financed by debt. This leads to what I call luxury settling. You can't afford the $1.5 million house you feel entitled to, so you settle for a $1,500 monthly car lease to soothe the ego. To break this cycle, you must implement what I call the 6% threshold. Immediately audit all your liabilities. In the current economic environment, any debt with an interest rate over 6% is a financial emergency. It must be prioritized over every other investment except for your employer's 401k match, which is essentially 100% immediate return. If you are investing in a balanced portfolio yielding 7% while paying 18% on a credit card, you are effectively burning capital. You are not an investor. You are a subsidizer of the bank's profits. You must stop the bleeding immediately by using the debt avalanche method, targeting the highest interest rates first to reclaim your capital velocity. Once the emergency is stabilized, you need a system to handle future income growth. Most people treat a raise as a green light to inflate their lifestyle by 100% of that new income. This is how the flagpole of financial independence keeps moving further away, no matter how fast you run. Instead, you should adopt the 50-30-20 split for raises. Allocate 50% of any new income to savings and investments, 30% to accelerated debt payoff or your emergency fund, and only 20% for conscious lifestyle improvements. This allows you to celebrate your success without making the raise mathematically irrelevant. To ensure this becomes the default, you must automate everything. Set up bank transfers to occur the same day your paycheck hits your account. Money you never see is money you cannot spend on a dopamine boost. For those of you straddling the line between a high income and a growing asset base, I propose a counterintuitive heuristic, the "don't live beyond your assets" formula. Take your net pay as your upper bound and 4% of your currently invested assets as your lower bound. Your target spending should be the midpoint between those two numbers. This formula forces you to give weight to your actual wealth rather than just your current at-will employment income. It provides a quantitative ceiling on spending that adjusts as you make real progress. If you have no invested assets, this formula will keep you on a short leash, ensuring that your high salary actually builds a foundation rather than just funding a high-burn lifestyle. To prevent a relapse into old spending habits, implement a 90-day lifestyle quarantine. Whenever you receive a windfall, a bonus or a raise, wait 3 months before upgrading any part of your life. This cool-off period allows the initial impulse to wear off and gives your rational brain time to assess whether a purchase offers a high return on life or just a fleeting spark of novelty. Remember that the most expensive thing you own is your ego. The systemic drivers of our culture are designed to make you feel insufficient, framing consumption as the only pathway to self-actualization. But real prosperity in a global reset is not about how much you can display. It is about how much you can direct toward a meaningful future. The ultimate goal of this framework is to flip the switch from being a debtor to being a creditor in the global economy. In a world where liabilities compound daily, those who run against interest will find that the ground moves faster than their feet can carry them. But those who run with interest will find that time itself becomes their most productive asset. Wealth is not the car you drive or the neighborhood you live in. Wealth is the ability to walk away from a job you hate because you own your time. It is the flexibility to manage transitions without stress. Stop spending your future income on items that lose value the moment you buy them. Reclaim your identity from your job title. Audit your liabilities with cold precision and start earning the interest you used to pay. That is the only way to survive the reset. That is how you become the king of your own category.